This is Tom with Culture Chap. So today I wanted to talk to you about your own skills, and I wanted to talk to you about makeup. So I, because of what I do as a director, I'm in contact with a lot of younger actors, a lot of actors of every age, and strangely enough, it keeps coming up. So I thought I'd make a video about it. Is that even the older actors? I thought it was just the younger actors, but it's actually actors from like 20 to 45 now. And it's even the older actors who never really got to learn how to do their own makeup. Now, basic makeup, I don't want to be shiny on stage. That's your job. It's what you need to do. Male, female, kid, whatever. And, okay, I got a broken nose. I'm fixing my nose with shadow and so forth. Basic stuff they seem to know. When it comes to fantasy or comedic characters or otherworldly characters or fantasy characters or a twist on just a normal character, but they need to look a little funnier than you. Maybe you're too good looking to play this character you've taken on. Maybe like a lot of actors that I know that are sort of middle age, whatever that means to you in your country. They're taking on older roles and younger roles. So they're not actually playing 40 or 50. They're playing parts in between, above or below. So they need to figure out how to like naturally age themselves up or bring themselves down to look slightly younger. Not a lot. They're not playing 20-year-olds, but slightly younger. And there are a lot of actors I know who have played serious parts and been in Shakespeare and done lots of different things. And they're getting this yearning to branch out and to do lots of different kinds of roles, have a lot of variety in their resume, their CV. And I think that's excellent. I think that's very important to keep yourself working, is to have a lot of skills, a lot of strings in your bow, as they say. And it's no joke to my theater friends or any of my friends that I love the Addams Family. And it's mostly the 90s movies that I love. Addams Family Values, the second film, is stellar. Okay, this is the part where my friends are like, stop talking about that movie. But the the acting is perfect, the writing is perfect, everything is really well done in that. And I think that it really influences Addams Family the musical. And I'm seeing a lot of people who didn't get the parts they wanted because they weren't quite right for it, who still get parts in that musical because they start to be put in as the ancestors. There'll be a lot of makeup going past you here, in no particular order. And the ancestors are a chorus thing that you can do anything with. They have their jobs to do, okay? They have the things that are written into the script, but they also are hilarious sort of background characters that a lot of companies, at least in the countries that I know, United States, South America, a few of the European countries, they're not taking full advantage of them. And the actors that are doing them are given these outfits that are bland. They're just white, very stark white, with very stark white makeup, with very few highlights. When, if allowed, they could make something really incredible. But they don't know how to do it. Okay? They don't know how to volunteer to come forward and say, actually, I played with some makeup and I can make this far more interesting, like some of the makeups you're seeing here. Maybe you've played Marley in Scrooge or the Christmas character, and you've had to do makeup like this. Maybe you played in The Mad Woman of Chaillot, which is an older play in a movie, and you've had to do makeup like this. Maybe you've done any number of parts that have given you experience like this. Maybe you've never really experimented with makeup, but now that we are in this sort of economic downturn in theater globally, some places are closing, some places are going along just fine, but to keep themselves chugging along just fine, they're taking deeper financial cuts than you think. And you don't have a dresser, you don't have a makeup designer, you don't have a wig person helping you out, and you as actors are having to do this yourself, and you're inexperienced. So fantasy makeup is easy, and you may say, well, I need to be taught. There's YouTube like this. You're on my channel because you want opinions, Some of my older videos, you want to be taught about where best to learn lines, what app to use, what to do this, how to do backstage tours. You're on this channel to learn a few things, to, have more in your wheelhouse. There's so much cheap makeup out there that you can play with at home or with friends or whatever. There's so much YouTube tutorials. There's so much stuff on Pinterest that is showing you different makeup. And you can just play and play and play. Now, you don't need to spend a lot of money to do this, to figure out these fantasy characters and what works for you. And to clearly assess your face and what kind of things you can do to your face. Okay? So I am a real fan of these shaded eyes and a lot of these things, and the big shadows underneath. I already have shadows underneath because of my age, so I can enhance that. I can enhance my nasolabial folds, that's what these are called, or sharpen up my chin if I'm doing a different kind of character, my jawline, or push my hair all the way back and really deepen these areas and figure out what I can do. You can get, in America, you can get cheap Halloween makeup pretty much any time of the year. You can order it online. There are Halloween stores in major cities that are basically, or Halloween sections, especially if in these states, Michael's stores. Is it always Halloween? Yes, there's always a Halloween section. And you can buy inexpensive cream-based makeup that comes off easily, that is just meant for your child or somebody else to use at Halloween. It's mostly pale whites and grays and some blacks and so forth and reds. Play around, figure out what you can do. And as you do this, it's very minimal money to do this. To tell your producer, your director, I have this talent. Take a snapshot, take a selfie of what you've done. Maybe it's awful. Maybe you know that. Maybe you just want to say, I'm willing. Maybe you want to say, I'm very eager to play Marley in Scrooge. I'm very eager to play a ghost in something. I'm very eager to play Hamlet's father, who's a ghost. I'm very eager to play a witch in Macbeth. I'm very eager to do these things, and these are the things I've been experimenting with. I would welcome help, but have you thought of letting us all do this? Maybe you're in the Addams Family musical, and you are part of the Ancestors ensemble, and it's looking a little bland, which we don't want that. There are very cheap ways to really bring up the quality of your show in anything. Even if you think, I'm just the chorus. I don't want to steal focus. Yeah, you do. You do want to steal focus. That's your job. The ancestors, especially in the Addams Family, are there to yuck it up, to be hilarious, to steal focus when they're on. It's carefully structured. Marley's ghost is there to steal focus. All these characters that are wearing fantasy makeup are there to steal focus for the scenes they're in. All you're doing in those scenes is looking at the witches in Macbeth. All you're doing is looking at Hamlet's father. I'm acting like the witches are up there. They're flying. All you're doing with Hamlet's father is looking at him above and seeing what the character looks like, what the actor looks like, how they're embodying the character, what they're doing. Makeup only enhances this. So learn to do it. It can be done for cheap. It can be done for fun. Get together with other people. You can make a party of it. It doesn't matter. There are less and less makeup artists per show, no matter what level of theater you're at, no matter what country you're in. So become your own makeup designer. Learn how to put on a wig, okay? Learn the basics of putting on your own wig. I've been on tours, I've been asked to come in my off time, my off seasons. They're saying like, oh, you have a lot of skills. Can you come be a dresser? And I'm like, why? Okay. And then you see the money and you're like, well, that's obscenely well paid. And I'm not doing anything. Okay, yeah, I'll be a dresser for this little tour that's in my area over the weekend. Great. How much money per hour? Yeah. And you find out that these people, these actors, these dancers, these opera singers, whoever it is, they're very used to having inexperienced people. So they put on their own wigs, they secure them themselves, doing their own makeup, doing their own quick changes and you're a little bit in the way, but because of unions and the way things are run, you need to be there. You're paid well. Great. But it's amazing how when you talk to them in their downtime, like, thank you for being here. I see that you're experienced, but I had no other recourse but to figure it out myself and to learn online and to learn the basics of putting on my own wig, making sure it was secure. Putting on your own wig and securing yourself is a lot less pain than having someone else stick bobby pins in or giant pins. It's a lot less pain because you know where you're putting it in, you know where the anchor points are. Learn about these things, but start with your own makeup and see where that can take you. You are much more lucrative in your career. They want to hire you more often if you have these basic skills. You can also charge when you have these skills and you're more advanced. Like, I just had so much fun with the Halloween makeup. I bought some more expensive makeup. Keep it cheap, though. The experimentation doesn't need to be expensive, ever. I can't say that enough. And I figured out other things I'd like to do for the characters, these other fantasy characters and so forth. And I have quite a few pictures of things that I can do, and maybe you'll get money as a makeup designer for the show. Wouldn't that be nice if you were an actor in the chorus of Addams Family, the musical, and you were sort of like lead chorus member, and you just designed everyone else's makeup to make them all individuals, because they should be individuals in that show. And you got paid extra money for that. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, they didn't know how to put on their own wigs and we have no one to help, but it's a melee backstage. Wouldn't that be nice if you got extra money for teaching that because you learned how online or from a friend or from a dresser or from anyone? So really experiment. So as you get older, the things that you wanted to do, maybe you'll never play Romeo. Maybe you'll never play Macbeth or Hamlet or Gomez Adams or anyone. Those roles have passed you by, and that's okay. But there are other rich roles that are out there that you're going to have to know more things than usual. So I've seen, especially with men, I'm afraid, that have played the young lovers because they're fit, they're in good shape, they have nice bodies, they can dance, they can sing, and they sort of age out. No matter how good looking, no matter how youthful you are, there's something about like, our Romeo is 40 and our Juliet is 20. And then suddenly, even though you're right for the role and you can do it and you look good, you look youthful, you can pass it off, they're not going to hire you because of your actual age. Doesn't that suck? It's bad. But it's the reality of even myself. I had a young actor audition for Little Women to play Laurie, but the woman playing Jo, who looked very youthful, was in her 30s, and he was 17. So he could do the job, but I had to get someone more age appropriate to try and seduce this person who was the characters are the exact same age. You know what I mean? I had to balance it out because there would have been blowback. So look at your career, realize that you may have a hankering to do these fantasy characters or these older characters or these otherworldly characters that you never had that urge before because it's more fun. It's the richer part. It's the part that it's less time, for you to rehearse. It's the part that you can really sink your teeth into, but there's no one to help you. There's no one to design the stuff. There's no one to do all this thing that you need to do to make this character happen. Okay, I'm rambling on and on about it because I'm passionate about this, that you should play with the stuff that you have, do it for cheap, have these skills, advertise that you have these skills, and see what happens, okay? And if you're a director, a producer listening to this, or a young actor, think about this. Ask. Where can I learn these skills? I'm a young actor. I'm a producer. Do you have these skills? What can you do? Or there's things that we haven't seen you do because you've been typecast, okay? Or are we typecasting you ourselves by thinking You only do these certain parts. What else can you do? Artistic directors, producers, directors don't often ask those things. Actors, you need to bring this up. Producers, directors, you need to ask. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. I love these pictures. I think they're great. Talented people. But you could be talented too. This may be a hidden talent you didn't know about. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Like and subscribe, please, and we'll talk again. Thanks. Bye.